Hey, I thought I would take a walk out here and discuss some things about my van channel. Uh, I've been doing a lot of van stuff. I started out as a detecting channel. I have been doing some detecting lately, but I haven't been getting out much, so I've been basically collecting bottle caps and pennies, not even copper pennies. But I'm getting out and gotta start making some videos on that when I can vary my areas where I'm detecting. And right now I have had issues with my van. I've been telling you that before. There were issues with the water pump. Soon missed the water pump. If I'm looking under my van now, there is no leakage whatsoever. But I did put some bar stop leak in there. And all you guys who are going completely nuts, I understand that is not a good idea. But I had to buy time because I don't have a convenient place to work at present. So I'm still trying to get by. I've got all the tools I need, but one thing I'm doing is I'm basically bathing the screw areas of that water pump with penetrating oil. And I've also got a torch so I can heat it up prior to taking those off to see if I can loosen up the rust that may be down there. Now there's a chance I'm going to be able to do that with no problem at all, but there's also a good chance it's going to blow up on me and I can break the water pump bolt, and I've got to use some easy outs, or I've got a couple different versions of those just in case disaster happens. Getting in the van now, and yes, the van is a holy mess because it's basically my workshop, as I said before, and nothing has worked out this year the way I wanted it to. No disasters though. And I got this torch, and this is some butane in this container here. Basically, I'm going to fill that torch up with butane so I can also heat those bolts. Like I said before, so I can hopefully break loose whatever rust might be under the water pump, and where it attached to the timing cover, etc. So the reason I'm being really slow about that, and I've got WD-40, I've got PB Blaster, I've got something called Jack of something. Jack of all sprays, and I'm hitting it with several different kinds of penetrating oil, hoping that when I do this, I'm going to make my future a little bit less adventurous. What I did plan to do today, but I really couldn't because there were things going on where I was going to work, but I was going to put that fan spring in the thermal coupling type thing to the fan, but that didn't work out. I just basically went over there, saw it wasn't a good place to work today, and backed out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab something to shave with, and also I did buy that's the new upper radiator hose, and there's a new lower radiator hose down there. I'm considering replacing those first. I do begin the process, I need to make it fast, get it done, and get the heck away from where I'm working. Or I need to find a place where I can work at my leisure to some degree. And I'm kind of looking for that, a good place, a garage I can use, or somebody to let me use for a while. I've got some relatives, but both my relatives, one of my relatives I've got multiple relatives. One of them is a long way away, and the other one is in an area where he's doing construction, so I really can't use his garage area. So I've got, it's just timing is not right for virtually anything. And I don't want to be a downer. It's one of the reasons I don't do the romance of van life, because the van life to me is not exactly romantic, it's practical. Now, let me look down here. in the coolant. Now I did put, and I know this is bad, it can destroy the heater core, this bar stop leak, so I don't advise using it. But since I don't have heat in this thing yet, but so it is not leaking virtually at all. A drop or two here and there. So, and then weirdly enough, I drove up and I tried to restart my car. My battery was down. So I have a type of split charger. So I took it off to see if that's the source of the problem. But I could just need to replace this battery. It's not an old battery. It's less than a year old. But I'm thinking I might need to get a beefier battery. It still was no explanation for that not charging. In any case, but it wasn't a big deal. I've got 2 or 3 different charged batteries in there, so I just simply used used one as a jump box and got it going again. Once again, I'm one of these people who don't really see the romance in van life. Now I do understand that it can be romance. People can find romance in mountain climbing. People can find romance in hiking or hitchhiking, or people can find romance in a machine shop. But that's usually the people and not the romance itself. And let me bounce my keys off the ground here. But that's also a key to not getting your channel to grow real fast, because people like that romantic idea of flashy scenes and very good music. I do know enough to be able to make a flashy scene or two. And let me check my battery. I think the changes I made. Yeah, let's see if it's gonna start. Yeah, I'm not sure what that problem was, but it appeared to have cleared it up. In any case, this is the little chiffon battery. I've got chiffon, and I also have a jump box hookup for it, and I also use it for other purposes. One of which was going to be the AC that I ordered in June, and it might be here by September. Anyway, and I think that's wonderful if you can find a romance in it. And these relatively, I guess, handsome men, but I'm not a good guide of what man is and is not handsome. They're not scary looking guys, and they do have attractive girlfriends. I am a man, so I am a pretty good measure of who is and isn't attractive. who appear to be unusually clothes-free in their thumbnails. I can see where they might find romance in there, or at least showing enough romance so it sells. So I'm not giving them any bad press as well. And they're young people. Young people can find romance and everything. All right, disconnected my split charger. All right, so basically, that's basically what I'm saying is I am just a bare bones, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it kind of channel. And back here in the back, you will see the muffler. And I just looked at this muffler, and it is screwed up. So I'm going to have to get that fixed or put a new one on myself. But since I don't have really good places to work, that's going to be difficult as well. So I'll since that's not causing me any heartache right now, I'll just worry about that issue later. Well, I do know, or they have told me, that my AC, zero breeze, the little tiny AC that's supposed to be good, is now in the continental United States. I'm just trying to see all the tires are good, etc. So I'm waiting for that to come. I've been waiting for it for a long time. It supposedly, and I tracked it across the Pacific landed in Long Beach, California, the 8th. And they said, oh, it'll be here in a week, and it is now the 18th. So it's, let's just say it's 3 days later than when they promised. But I've gotten no tracking, and you know, all of the great relationship we have with China now in trade policy, there's always some idea they could be caught in customs, but I won't know that probably until December when it finally arrives. In any case, that's basically where I'm stopping right now. This was not a complaint day. It's just basically saying there's crap to do today, and you just got to get it done. I'm also considering putting some canvas on my roof, so when I do decide to sleep or something, I can make it, I can hide my panels and make it more stealth. Not that that's caused me any problems yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. It'd be an interesting video. In any case, that's all I've got, and I will talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day.